there's a new phrase for one team that's left in the NFL playoffs. Okay, you got 2 1 seeds, you got a defending Super Bowl champs, and then you have the Detroit Lions. And
all grit.
Let me tell you something. Those are the words, right? All grit, right? All grit.
That's
All grit.
All grit.
That's, by the way, that is the much more consumable and I think more rational and more economical version of saying we're coming to rip your kneecaps off.
Biting kneecaps.
Is that we're hashtag we're all grit?
All grit.
We're all grit.
Love it.
But there's one team in these playoffs, okay, that's left. That's never won a Super Bowl, never been to a Super Bowl. The other franchises have, including the one most recently, right? One team is not. And that team is going to San Francisco with a whole boatload of house money. And the phrase for them, 2 words, why not? Why not? Tell me why not? Just because of the Detroit Lions? Really? Really? We're going to do that? We're doing that because you've sucked for so long. Now you can't have it. Okay. And I saw a team in San Francisco that made a ton of mistakes on Saturday night. And also, unfortunately for them, lost a crucial member of their offense for much of the game. They overcame it. That's what we discussed for much in hour number 2. But if Deebo Samuel's not there on Sunday night, that is another equalizer. And they got a quarterback that knows what it's like to play in that building. He's a quarterback that knows the franchise, knows it very well, knows the area very well. Looks like it's supposed to be, what, a 60-degree night? Nice night. Nice night at San Francisco. Won't be that rain. Weather that supposedly Jared Goff has a problem in, and the same thing went for Purdy on Saturday night.
Oh, he's got small hands.
Why not? Everything Dan Campbell said this team was going to be, it now is. And Detroit has won 2 playoff games in the same season for the first time since we liked Ike.
We liked Ike.
1957.
Man, I didn't see that coming.
Nope. 1957.
That's President Eisenhower, in case anybody didn't get that reference.
I appreciate you saying that.
Not Mike and Ike.
The Detroit Lions have accomplished the following. Let me tell you what they have accomplished, in case you're wondering if they cannot win a Super Bowl this year by winning 2 more games. They have, this very season, notable broken streaks. First playoff win since 1991 was the longest active season streak without a playoff win. Broke a streak of 9 consecutive playoff losses, was the longest playoff losing streak in NFL history. Lions had their first home playoff game since 1993. It was the longest drought without a home playoff game in the NFL. They then won multiple home playoff games. First time in franchise history that's happened. Won multiple games in a single postseason. As I mentioned, first time since 1957. They had 1 single playoff win from 1958 through 2022. And they won 14 games in 2023 so far, including the playoffs. That's the most in a season in franchise history. Check those boxes and check it all off your list. Now, they go to San Francisco, where they're not supposed to win, right? You could make a case, as I just said earlier in this show, but to repeat, in case you're just joining us or seeing this for the first time later on, hey, you could make a case the Detroit Lions are a more dangerous team away from Ford Field.
Oh.
Ask the Kansas City Chiefs on opening night. Well, the Chiefs didn't have Chris Jones. They didn't have Travis Kelce. They didn't look like the team. They were in Buffalo. That's right. But on that night, they were raising a banner. And everybody thought the Lions were just going to be cannon fodder, and they were the cannons. After they found out in Lambeau Field last year, hey, a couple things went a little awry in that Rams-Seattle game, including some really weird officiating. And because of that, sorry, you're eliminated But have a good time trying to play the Packers on Sunday Night Football in game 272 because everybody thought that would be a win-or-go-home game. But for you, you're just going home, and they sent Aaron Rodgers home. Anyway, in Lambeau Field. And then they came back to Lambeau Field this year on a short week, and Jordan Love and the Packers had showed up on Thanksgiving to beat Detroit. But on that night, they smoked them coming out of the gate. They came out here to the Chargers, had a shooting match, won that one. They love going into a spot where nobody believes in them and ending your night, or in this case for the 49ers, season. Look, it is going to be really tough. It's a very tough assignment, a very difficult assignment. Certainly if Debo is healthy in the game. But why not? Seriously, tell me why not? Why can't the sun god go do his thing? Why can't? I'm going to tell you why not. Why can't, and how about this one too? Why can't this be a Jahmyr Gibbs game? Out of all of them. Okay, we spoke to Sam Laporta last week. He's jacked up. I guess the OG of Iowa tight ends currently in the NFL, maybe all time. George Kittle's playing in this game. Laporta's coming in too. I know he's jacked. Sun God's jacked. David Montgomery can deliver his licks, but it's Gibbs. How about Gibbs saying, hey, McCaffrey's not the only all-purpose scrimmage nightmare in this game. I'm just laying it all out. And I saw that photo of that shot of Aiden Hutchinson. He looked like, I've seen that look before. There's unfinished business for him. They've got weapons. They can do this thing. For real.
It's a good squad, man.
The Lions can wind up in the Super Bowl. In past years, it's just like, even when those Lions went to Washington, they took on the Joe Gibbs Washington teams. They got boat raced in an NFC Championship game. I don't see a boat race on the horizon. Do you, gents? Seriously?
Oh no, definitely not.
Okay.
I'm with Chris Long. I'm taking the Lions.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay. So I get it. Some of you might think the Rams weren't all that and the Bucs weren't all that. So you beat two teams at home. Okay, good. And they're going to go to San Francisco and you'll be overmatched. I would counsel against that. I mean, the Niners may win this thing and go on the Super Bowl and win that too. I hear you, but all four teams have a shot on Sunday. All four of them do. And three of them have brought home the Lombardi Trophy to their fans before. It's been a while for San Francisco. We just spoke to the guy who's the last one to bring it to them, and Steve Young. And the Ravens more recently. Now, it's been over 10 years, right? Since Ray walked off into the mist in New Orleans, in the Har Bowl, and then the Chiefs last year, and the Lions never, ever. I'm happy for my Lions friends. They're feeling it. Certainly, I know a ton for Michigan Wolverines, too. I mean, what a time. What a time to be alive right now. Dan Campbell had this to say after the dub. God bless this guy.
I envisioned that we would have a chance to compete with the big boys, and that's where we're at. All you got to do is get in, and it's about placing yourself the very best position to where you can move. You get a home game, and then maybe you get a second home game, and now all of a sudden it gets a little easier. If you're able to get a 1 seed, you only got to win 2 games, right? And so that's always the objective. But ultimately, once you get in, then it's about matchups, and you find a way to win. And you may have to win 2-0, and it's okay. It's okay. A win's a win in the playoffs. So, here we are. And now we get to go to San Francisco, and, we know what kind of team that is, but we're in a great position. We've got a great opportunity.
I mean, this is built for the Lions to go in and bite off a kneecap and a hunk and all that sort of stuff. And let me ask you this question, just to put a point on it. I've been at this for a while. You guys have been watching it for a while too. Name me another head coach who after a game looks like he also played too.
He does.
We were just talking about it. He's a giant. He's huge. He's 6'5", 260.
But his nose, like the bridge of his nose, looks like the helmet was knocked down on his bridge of his nose for about 80 snaps.
He's got that Peyton Manning red mark.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it is. He looks like he just gave us 80-something snaps. So, congrats, Lions fans. You've gotten it right.
Yeah,
it's
awesome.
finally happening. My God. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.